Modern Horizons 3 has absolutely rocked the modern metagame and changed the format forever. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at if Modern Horizons 3 and Horizons sets as a whole are good or bad for the format. What's up, everybody? Les Alex here, and as I said, we're going to be taking a look at some statistics, and I'm going to be giving you my opinion on whether I think Modern Horizons sets are good for the format or not. First off, I want to show you this screen, the Modern Metagame Breakdown at Pro Tour MH3. Obviously, Bant Nadu and Nadu combo as a whole was the talk of the town. I'm not going to get into the whole should they not ban Nadu. I talked about it in my last video. If you want to hear my opinions, there will be a link to that video right up there. But as we take a look at this deck and this metagame breakdown, holy moly. We got Bant Nadu at 20.2, Ruby Storm at 9.5, Jeskai Control. This is Jeskai Energy Control. I also made a video about that. You can find that up there. But we got Mono Black, Necro, Eldrazi Tron, 4-color Nadu. Smells pretty fishy to me. Sounds like they didn't want to combine the Nadu decks. Anyways, we got Boros Energy, Jeskai Wizards, Mono Black, Grief. Hey, Grief, there's a card from not Modern Horizons 3. Jeskai Dress Down, Gruul Eldrazi, and then other. So that was the metagame breakdown of MH3 Pro Tour. And obviously, Bant Nadu obviously just dominated that entire tournament, putting 5 copies into top 8. And after the quarterfinals, let's scroll down. There it is, top 8 bracket. You got 1 Mono Black Necro, 4-color Nadu, Jeskai Control, Bant Nadu, Bant Nadu, Bant Nadu, Bant Nadu, and Mono Black Necro. But as you see right here in the semifinals, no non-Nadu deck made it out of quarters. That's a problem in my opinion. And it's just so telling that all of the decks, look at all of these decks in the top deck archetypes here in Pro Tour MH3 were all new decks. Yes, Eldrazi Tron, of course, has been a deck in the past. Of course, Jeskai Control and Storm have all been decks in the past. But the cards that they're using are all MH3 cards. So we got Flage. We got all the energy package surrounded, like Galvanic Discharge, Tune the Narrative, those kinds of cards all in that Jeskai Control deck. We've got in Eldrazi Tron, you've got Devour of Destinies, Kozilek's Command, all those cards. Like, we flipped it, the entire format has been turned on its head. Even Boros Energy with Amped Raptor, Guide of Souls. You got Jeskai Wizards with Tameo and other MH3 cards. Yes, it did bring back Snapcaster Mage, thankfully, to the Wizards deck and made Snapcaster Mage relevant again, which I'm thankful for. But as a whole, are Horizon sets good for the format? Let's take a look currently. This is on mtggoldfish.com. This is their meta game breakdown. Now, basically what Goldfish does, if you don't know, they take pretty much all the decks that have been produced online, and that is how they make up these percentage metagame shares. So any deck that 5-0's a league or things like that, any deck that gets challenge wins, top 16's a challenge. If you make a deck on a random website, it will show up in this metagame breakdown. But let's take a look. Ruby Storm is the #1 deck according to MTG Goldfish. And typically, I don't know about you, but I do trust these metagame breakdowns here on Goldfish. It's kind of my go-to for trying to sniff out a metagame and try to build my decks and my sideboards. So I trust these numbers. I do. You can see the amount of decks, 153, 129, and so on down the line. But Here we have Bant Nadu at second, Jeskai Control with the energy package. So this is the new energy list. We do have Living End here, which is obviously an older deck. And then we have Tron, but this is the Neutron. This is the Neutron with Kozilek's Command. And, you know, we're playing Trinispheres now to stop Nadu and to stop all the nonsense. We got Emrakul World Anew. So this is the new Tron, not your classic Tron. We got Rakdos Scam, still a very powerful card. Grief is still a very powerful card. But Rakdos Scam, you know, was a dominant force before MH3 came out, and now it is relegated to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th in metagame share. And you've got Amulet Titan, Boros Energy, Gruul Prowess, and Yawgmoth rounding out the top 10 most popular decks. But let's take a look. Let's get in the Wayback Machine and take a look just before MH3 released, and let's take a look at the metagame. Here it is, folks. Rakdos Scam, 14% of the metagame with 390 copies. Now, the reason that there are so fewer copies here, just like, you know, 300 plus versus 100, right? We had 390 versus 150. Magic the Gathering Online has stopped coming out with the 5-0 lists and the challenge lists and all the other decks that come out. They stopped making them. A lot of people are saying that's because of Amalia. They don't want the information to get out that Amalia is such a dominant deck. People have been saying that up to 80% win percentage. So, holy smokes, if that's true, Pioneer's in a rough spot. I tend to think that maybe Nadu is also a part of the reason that they stopped doing that. And this is just speculation on my part, but Nadu is very clearly a issue in Modern. 59% win percentage at the Pro Tour. Historic win percentage at the Pro Tour for Modern. But taking back at the Wayback Machine, just a few weeks ago, this was from June of 2024. So June 16th of 2024, we had Rakdos Scam at 14%, Living End at 9.5, Domain Zoo. Remember that deck? Remember when that deck was like the problem child and everybody thought that Leyline of the Guild Pack should be banned? Oh, memories. But then we have Yawgmoth, Amulet Titan, Teamer Prowess, Murktide. You even had Azorius Control with the One Ring and Kihira and Solitude and all those sweet cards that I like to play. You had Mono Black Scam, and then you had Creativity there rounding out the top 10. But holy smokes, what a month time difference makes. We got Ruby, Bant, Jeskai, and Boros Energy all taking up slots in the top spot. So what does this actually mean for Modern in terms of your average player, you know, because not every player can afford. I would argue most players can't afford these astronomical prices for Modern. Modern used to be an affordable format. I know it's crazy to think, but Modern did used to be an affordable format. And now we're up close to the $900 mark for a lot of the top decks. Now, Ruby Storm is the outlier. You can get into Ruby Storm for under $500, which that's great to be a budget deck and have a pretty decent deck. Now, obviously, at the Pro Tour, the deck did not perform very well. I think it had like a 37% win percentage, but it was highly played, but people were ready for it. On the flip side of that coin, people were ready for Nadu. But what does having a turned over metagame, right? We went from this to this, right? In a matter of a week, essentially, 2 weeks. From when Modern Horizons 3 wasn't out yet to the Pro Tour. 2 weeks time. And what that means to me is if I am your average Magic player, don't have an unlimited budget, which that is me, and I'm sure it's a lot of you, what does that mean for you? Should you even waste your money investing in a deck for Modern? In my personal opinion, And for me, there's no shot in hell I would invest in a modern deck, knowing that every 4 years you're going to get every 2 years you're going to get a Horizon set, and it's going to completely nuke the metagame. Remember before we had modern Horizon sets, back in the epic golden era of modern? But yeah, then Hogak came out and ruined the format, and then Grief came out and the scam stuff, and they banned Fury, but that ruined the format. And now we have Nadu, and there's just not enough skin in the game for me personally to invest in a deck. I personally really like Pioneer. I think that's another great alternative if you have that competitive itch and you want to buy into a deck that isn't going to essentially get rotated out of the format. As much as we clown on Standard and we, kind of stick our nose up at Standard, Modern is the new Standard, folks. I don't know if you know this, but in my opinion, they're just at the point where instead of investing in the amazing reprint equity that Wizards of the Coast has with Magic the Gathering in terms of card games has the best reprint equity of any card game. They could be doing what Yu-Gi-Oh does, and I don't even want to get into that really, but they just torch the prices of expensive cards all the time. But Magic the Gathering, instead of dipping into the reprint equity, the great reprint equity that they have, they decide to just power creep the good things out of the format. Ragavan is a perfect example. $100 card out of the gates. And now, if you look at these top decks, there's two decks in the top 10 that play Ragavan. And holy smokes, what are we doing? That card was the best. Now it's a $40 card. It was a $100 card. Obviously, your fetches and your shocks are going to retain value. But when they constantly just churn over the format every couple years with these Horizon sets, it's mind-numbing to think that why are we investing in these cards if, we're just going to have the format rotated. Obviously, people play the game for different reasons. People have different income levels. I understand that. But for your average player, is it worth it to buy into a deck that will rotate 2 years from now? Why are we not just playing Standard? It's cheaper. And Standard's actually really sweet right now. Modern, we don't know what's going to happen. The RCQ season is right around the corner. Is Nadu going to get banned, or are we going to have an RCQ Modern season that is just littered and festering with the menace that is Nadu? Maybe I'm tipping my hand here on whether I think Nadu should be banned, but that's my thoughts. Is Wizards of the Coast just getting to the point where they're just flipping Modern to keep printing money? It's a good strategy for the short term. They're definitely going to make money with sets like Modern Horizons 2, Modern Horizons 3. They're going to make a boatload of money. But is it going to kill the format eventually? That is a bigger question and a topic for another video. I thank you all so much for hanging out and watching this video. If you made it this far, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't get missed out. There's going to be a ton of other videos popping up to check out. I make weekly Magic the Gathering content for competitive, and I would appreciate it if you subscribed. But yeah, I'm Les Alex. I will catch you all on the flippy flop. Appreciate you, and until next time, adios.